All right, guys. So I've been training over the past, let's say 10 years now. And in this video, I wanted to share with you my honest thoughts on why simplicity is the key to building an aesthetic, lean, and muscular physique. A lot of guys will spew on the internet, on Instagram, on YouTube, all over social media, basically, telling you that you should be doing this diet and you should be following this program and doing X, Y, and Z. But what I've realized is that these people are just creating so much garbage in your head. They're filling you with so much trash because honestly, if you were to stick to one thing for an extended period of time and you were to never really deviate and switch trajectory, then you would achieve this physique. Now, obviously, granted, you have to be doing the right thing, but it needs to be the right thing for your goals. So if you want to achieve an aesthetic, lean, muscular physique, you're not going to be training like someone who's trying to win a marathon, never really finding yourself in the gym, never really training like a bodybuilder, for example, someone who, is in the gym with a purpose and an intent to build muscle and really sculpt their body. If you really want to achieve this physique, it's not about adding things to your life, but more taking things that are not aligned with what you want and really just removing all of that. So the vices, the shit food, and all of these things that are really holding you back from becoming the kind of man that you want to become. We always want to escape things that are seemed as boring. Why? Because you have a boring job, you go to the office or you go to university and you're doing things that you don't really want to do, and it's boring. You're so sick of having a kind of mundane and boring life. What you need to understand is when you are successful and when you become truly successful at this thing, it's in the boring things that you're going to get success, right? Because you have to do the boring actions every single day. You have to show up. You have to do repetitive actions. They call it repetitions because it's not just reps. But if you have to put in the reps, then you have to truly put in the repetitions. So people would always ask me, how do you get in such good shape? And they would kind of be looking for the thing that will maybe unlock something for them. And I kind of get it because when I was skinny and out of shape and I didn't really have this kind of physique, I would always want to know what the hack was, what the secret was. But that's not how it works. When you develop this kind of body, it comes from having the right mindset. The kind of mindset that is willing to do boring things, willing to keep doing certain actions that get them the result that are aligned with their goal and just never being distracted away from it. So, for example, I was training for about 7 years straight. And yeah, I had accrued some muscle. Yeah, I had a six-pack, but I didn't have the kind of physique that I have now. So the actions that I were taking had gotten me the result that I had achieved at that point in time. And I think there is a lot to be said about sticking to one program, sticking to one diet, eating the same foods that you know are healthy for you, that you trust, eating, just the right things. It's not about the exact things that you're doing, but it's more about removing the actions, removing the vices, removing all the things that you're not supposed to do. So not drinking alcohol, not staying up late at night, binge eating, not just, aimlessly going about your day. It's to have intention, it's to have a reason why you're doing things. And for me, when I figured out all of the things that were holding me back and I'd figured out the things that were actually working for me, that allowed me to then pivot into the direction that I needed to go. For the longest time, I was really just, I wouldn't say wasting my time, but I just had the wrong mindset. So you'll notice with bodybuilders like, Ronnie Coleman, Chris Bumstead, multiple world champions, whatever. These people, they do the same thing over and over and over and over again. There are going to be slight tweaks in what they do and how they do it, but they don't, stop and then change complete direction. They just stick with their same routine. They do it over and over again and they improve. It's 1% improvements. every single time they show up. If you know something works, then you should just make it your responsibility to execute, right? And I think a lot of people are looking for the new thing. Like, a lot of you guys know what you need to do, bro. You need to work out, you need to eat right, eat clean, and really just work on building yourself and improving as time goes on. Honestly, guys, the time that I saw the most growth was when I would go to the gym with a hoodie on, and I would literally stop looking at myself entirely. I would just be focused on executing my workout to the best of my ability, never leaving anything on the table, using 100% effort on all of my exercises. And then when I came home and when I entered my home environment was like my recovery, my growth environment, in that everything that I was putting into my body was only really going in to fuel my body, to fuel my mind. Like, what I would listen to, what I would be watching, what I would eat, all of these things were really just there to actually fuel me, rather than to just do it mindlessly and to, expect some kind of magical result, right? But yeah, like in the gym, I had my hoodie on and I had one goal, and that was to execute the workout to my best ability. So that way, when I go home, I eat, I recover, I rest, and then the following day, it's the same thing again. I'm just attacking, right? I think a lot of guys, because they don't have that structure in their life that they truly believe will work for them, they struggle to just focus on the execution of it. I was the same. Before, I kind of would go to the gym and I would be chasing the pump. That's why I said I would put on a hoodie, so that way I was less inclined to, waste time looking in the mirror, waste time checking out the pump, taking pictures of myself, posting them on social media, lifting super heavy weight, even though like I didn't really use proper form. I was doing all of those things to feed my ego, right? I wasn't actually there to improve myself. I was just doing it to feed my ego, right? I know so many guys that have given up on achieving an aesthetic physique, have given up on achieving their dream physique for their ego, because they would rather do something like powerlifting, or they would rather do something that isn't actually aligned with their goals, just to appease their own ego, because they've given up on the fact that they can actually achieve something incredible. Some things are just out of the cards for them, but that's not true. It's not out of the cards. If you were just to have a routine that you stuck to every single time that you said that you were going to stick to it, it doesn't have to be crazy. If you're going to the gym like 4 times, 5 times a week, it's more than enough to see really good results. Even if you're going like 3 times a week, as long as it's consistent over a period of time, and you're not, finding excuses, you're constantly improving. You don't have to track your calories. You don't have to track your workouts. But I think being as meticulous as possible is never going to hurt, especially in the beginning. You want to know what works for you. You want to know how best to execute things in your life. The best way to do it is obviously to track. It's a beautiful day today, and I think I've done a decent job here communicating my message that simplicity, the thing that you can really stick to for a long period of time, is always going to yield better results than overcomplicating your life and adding things into your life that are of someone else's agenda. There might be someone on social media that says, listen, man, like you need to do incline walking every single day in order to get the physique that you want. If incline walking is just not in your nature and you don't feel like doing it, you don't have to do it. My point is that you need to figure out what it is that you can actually do on a consistent basis that is aligned with your goals, right? Some of us don't have goals to look freakishly bodybuilder-like and just really aesthetic and all of these things. But I know deep down, if you knew that you could achieve it, you would. I think a lot of you guys think that this thing is just out of the cards for me because you look at how much work you've put in until now, which granted, for a lot of you, it is hard work. I was the same. I was going to the gym like 6, 7 days a week. I wasn't really seeing much results and I was pissed off. I didn't get it. I didn't get why other people could go to the gym way less and yet see way better results. But it's just down to execution. That is the main thing here. It's execution of your habits, it's execution of your routines, it's execution of your training, it's execution of your diet, like all of it. It's all of it. It's not just, planning and researching information, but it's the execution of all of it. You can't have the perfect routine without you actually following through and executing on it, right? It has to be there. So yeah, guys, if you're trying to improve your physique, but you're not really getting very far and it's been a while, just book in a call with me. There's a link in the top of the description that will take you to my calendar where you can book in a call with me. We'll have a chat. I'll see if I can help, see if you're the right fit for the program. And yeah, if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment, share your thoughts, and I'd love to hear it. All right. Have a good one, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace, peace.